Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Untold with Abdullah Al-Hindiani. That's the new name for this show. I just created it, but welcome. For today's episode, we have Yousef AlHammadi, who works in the field of genetics. He is in a very unique kind of position where the field, I'm sure a lot of people don't know about. So for today's episode, we're going to highlight all the things scientific related to this field, hopefully learn more about it, be educated about it, and have a good conversation with it. With that in mind, stay tuned. We'll come right back. And we're back with Yousef AlHammadi, who works in the field of genetics. And I do want to first welcome you on the Untold. So, hello.
Hello, hi, how are you?
I am good. Hopefully, you are the same.
I
And
am,
you are
thank
in the
you.
very privileged, kind of position that your field, in my opinion, is very unique, right?
Correct, yes,
Yeah.
it
So,
is.
what draw you into that field, right? What kind of brought you here?
Oh, basically, I'd say when growing up, basically, I saw genetics, DNA to be more specific, is fascinating. Thinking about a tiny thing that could change a lot in your health in general is something really unique.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, it is unique.
And what about, genetics and DNA specifically that makes
Yeah.
it unique, right? What kind of draw you into that kind of thing?
Uh, I mean, I'm gonna be more specific.
Yeah.
I in terms of models, when I first chose biology, it all came when I first chose biology. I wasn't really fond of chemistry or physics, so when I first chose biology, I was like, cells made me more interested into knowing more about human cells, genes, learning more about DNA. So that's what really drew me more.
So the curiosity of the whole kind of thing is what drew you in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
And it's funny because we kind of share different paths, but it kind of started on the same place. Because when I was studying high school, I think now the system maybe changed or not, I don't know. But at a certain grade, they make you pick, literature or science. And I was so bad at sciences, I was like chemistry, elements, and everything. I was like, okay, I'm done from here. So it's good to know that there are other people who saw those stuff and it's like, okay, that's something I'm gonna go for.
Well, to me, I didn't have the option.
Oh.
I was in a private school, so I had to
Yeah.
go through biology eventually. So it was a must. So it was interesting, actually. So
But at least it's something that you kind of find yourself into, right? It's
Yeah.
something you enjoy doing and everything.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And you studied in Ireland, right?
Correct,
In
yes.
Dublin.
Yes.
So how was the experience? Like, was it the first time you've studied abroad or in
Yes.
schools were you there? So how was the
yes.
experience? Right?
Yeah, totally an eye-opening experience. So meeting people from all around the place.
Yeah.
A learning experience. It is a learning experience after all.
Yeah. Going from there, you studied genetics in university. That's the thing you chose?
Yeah, so my options were limited when it came for choosing genetics. I mean, eventually choosing a major defines you.
Yeah.
So when it came to me when choosing a major, I went with the flow.
Yeah.
So I was like, genetics fascinated me.
Yeah, and honestly, it's such a good flow that you went with, right? Because even for someone like me who, as I said before, I ran away from science, genetics and DNA is something that really, fascinates me, right? Because you have billions of people, all of them are different. And this is such a very, did I get that right?
Yeah.
People are all different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't get any
no,
scientific
no,
facts
no,
wrong.
no.
It's such a fascinating thing to think about is that, all of these people, all of them are different, right? Not speaking about personality, but the actual, things that kind of define them.
Yeah,
Such an
correct.
interesting thing, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is interesting actually.
Yeah.
We are defined by lots of things when it comes to genetics.
Yeah.
We share a lot of things as well. We share DNA with a banana.
Yeah.
As well. Uh, so
Well, that's a good thing, right? Because
yes,
they are delicious.
yeah, they are
Yeah.
indeed.
And I want to talk to you because now you work at the Kuwaiti, I want to get that right, Kuwait Medical Genetics Center,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So did you work there as you know, as soon as you finished university? So like you finished in university and then you got hired there? And what
Uh,
was the process like, you know?
Yeah, I did an internship during my summer vacation. I did want to have a hands-on practice because when it came to practicing lab work, uh, it was a little bit different back then in my university,
Yeah.
because in my university it was a little bit more in theory. I wouldn't say that it wasn't that much of a lab work, but when it came to theory, just a little bit of lab practice.
Okay.
I've decided to do a summer internship. So I did a couple of visits at KMGC. And then I was one of the luckiest ones to get a full-time job
I mean, that's good,
in
alhamdulillah, right?
KMGC. Yeah.
Yeah. And was the transition from, you know, doing theory work and then doing actual lab work, was that a hard transition or did you, you know, got into it smoothly and fast?
Uh, I'd say both,
Okay.
probably. I'd say both,
Yeah.
yes.
And so
Yeah.
talk us about your day-to-day work at the Kuwaiti Genetics Center. Like, what is the kind of job that you're doing there?
It usually starts by DNA extraction. So we extract DNA from blood samples, and then we usually go by requests.
Yeah.
From different types of requests. When it comes to requests, there's different types of disorders, syndromes. Uh, I'd give you an example, such as uh, a typical genetic disorder would be, I'd say, Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Okay. So it's basically trying to map, you know, diseases and everything within that relates within the DNA.
Yeah, we're basically looking for a we're basically looking for the disease,
Oh, okay.
whether this
Yeah.
patient has the disease or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's purely, you know, medical kind of
It's
practices, right?
purely diagnostic. So we're a diagnostic lab.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's not like what, you know, those facilities in the USA where you send them samples and then they give you the family tree and then everything. It's not like that, right?
No,
Oh, so this
no.
is purely medical kind of.
Purely diagnostic,
Yeah.
clinical diagnostic lab. So WES, whole exome sequencing, we sequence the genes where they're being transcribed,
Okay.
and we look for the mutations that happens in the region of the gene.
So this is basically you're trying to, let's say, for example, we have the flu, right? So basically you're trying to find the source of this kind of disease, right? Whether it connects to genetics or not. And then you're trying to signal out, right? What makes that disease through genetics.
Yes, we do as well rule out diseases, disorders to be more specific.
Yeah.
Yes, so we do rule out. So we're mainly diagnostic lab, as I mentioned.
Okay. Yeah.
We do more than that. So we're divided into multiple labs. I do work in molecular genetic lab.
Okay.
we're divided into multiple different labs, cytogenetic lab, microarray, newborn screening, NBS and NGS, next generation sequencing, and fish fluorescent in situ hybridization.
Yeah. And I think, for the irregular people, those are all separate kind of, fields, right?
Correct.
But they're all connected through the field of genetics.
Genetic is the base.
Yeah, and then those are
It's
like
the
the
base
branches.
of everything.
Those are like the branches that go there and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk
But
about.
everything has its own specialty
Yeah.
eventually. So everyone is specialized in something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's talk about you personally. What is something about genetics that you don't fully get or comprehend, but you'd like to know more about? Speaking on the personal side of things.
I mean everything. I mean, genetic is always on the edge. Every day there's something new about genetics.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm a know-it-all person when it comes to genetics.
Yeah, of course.
Genetics is always on the edge. There's each and every day there's a new publication on a new scientific method that came.
It's an ocean.
Yeah,
of kind
it's
of
an
knowledge.
ocean.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So if I could say that what fascinates me more about genetics is the regulation of the genes. The epigenetics. Epi means before, which means
Is that from Latin or something?
more, yeah.
Okay.
More like Greek, Latin, I think, yeah.
Okay.
So it comes from how genes are being turned on, switched on and off. So basically how your body reacts to the genes.
Yeah.
When does your body switches on a certain type of gene, and when does your body switches off a certain type of gene?
Yeah. And we are going to go on a break, but it's such a fascinating kind of topic. And this is mashallah, it just shows the delicacy and the intricate design of the human body, right? It's such a fascinating kind of biological achievement. So yeah, mashallah. And with that being said, we are going to go on a very quick break. We'll come right back after this one. And we're back with Yousef AlHammadi, who's going to continue talking to us about the field of genetics. And I do want to put you on the spot for just a tiny little bit of question. If you had, let's say unlimited resources, what kind of project would you like to work in? What kind of project would you like to expand upon, right?
There's this one project that I'm actually trying to work on. Is discovering or basically reclassifying VUS, variants of uncertain significant.
What is that?
So basically, us humans, we do have billions of variants. These variants are known to be either pathogenic. There's this one project that I'm planning actually to work on. It's a research project to reclassify VUS, VUS, variants of uncertain significant. So us human, we do have billions of variants.
So this is like the different kind of people, right?
No, us humans in general.
Oh.
In general, humans. Genes are full of variants, unknown variants, unsequenced, basically. These unknown variants and undiscovered variants are still unknown whether if they cause a pathogenic mutation or not. So some of them are benign, some of them are not. So my goal is to reclassify this mutation by doing functional assays using an animal model to reclassify them.
Oh, okay. And speaking of, something that is fascinating along this journey, obviously you've had mentors or people who guided you the most. So how's that process like? Would you like to talk us about some of your mentors, your, guidance in all of this?
Yeah, so friends, families, supervisors,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
they really shaped me.
yeah. And honestly, I think that's a very common factor in a lot of the stories we've heard in the Untold, having the correct circle of guidance, right? From the early stages to the late stages, especially in your field that is so complicated and so delicate. And speaking of that, what do you have to say for audiences who are parents with young kids? They're trying to seek them path for careers and work and everything. They're trying to go for this kind of field. What do you have to say all those the kind of challenges they're gonna face and everything?
Go for it, actually.
Yeah,
Sometimes it gets difficult, sometimes it gets hard,
yeah,
uh, and sometimes, I mean, you just have to go with the flow.
yeah. And speaking of the difficulties and challenges, can you recall any of the difficulties and challenges that you've had personally while pursuing this kind of field? Is it the studying? Was it the field work? Was it the lab work?
At first, I did consider myself freezing my scholarship.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did find this major a bit complicating.
Yeah.
The complexity of it made me feel anxious.
Okay.
So I didn't really get it at first. But I told myself that my options were limited. So it's either I start liking it or like it. So
Yeah.
I had no option actually.
Yeah.
So I was like, force yourself and you might love genetics. And I did.
Yeah.
I started reading more publications, doing some research on genetics, and it's just immaculate.
Yeah. And because, I'd assume that genetics is like a puzzle, right? Every
It is
case is like
it is a
you're
puzzle,
trying to
yes.
solve a mystery, trying to solve like you said, a puzzle. So there's a very good element of day-to-day kind of challenges. Yeah.
Yes, it is very challenging. It's like you being a detective, basically,
Yeah.
looking for answers. And some answers are never found, basically. So it's a journey
Yeah.
at the end. So sometimes it gets hard by not getting answers. It depends, but
Yeah.
it is a puzzle.
Yeah, and it's a very, I would say, helpful kind of career path, especially today with technology, because I've been, recently watching a lot of true crime podcasts, especially about cold cases. And for so many cases that go for like 20, 30 years ago, they've been solved recently because of the field of genetics. So it doesn't just have applications on medical field, but it can actually help people, right? It can help do a lot of good as well. So there's a lot of elements in it, a lot of tweaks in it that kind of makes it a very good and enticing kind of field.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how you use genetics.
Yeah.
So depends who uses or what applications are being used
Yeah.
while using this.
Yeah, it's honestly, like you said, it depends how you use it. Because I remember one case, and this is probably going to go way off topic, but it does relate to genetics. I remember this one case where it was like maybe 40 years, the case hasn't been solved. And then came a genetics student, as a matter of fact. He wasn't, working in the genetics field or anything. And then he asked the FBI if he could take a look at the DNA files and everything. And so he took the DNA files and then took the genetic, mapping or genetics, I don't know what they call it,
Yeah.
the foundation. And then they just blueprinted it across thousands and thousands of people. And then they found the killer.
genetic
Yeah, they
blueprint,
found the killer like 40 years after the fact, which is so fascinating to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I want to speak to you personally, from working in this field, especially because it relates to a lot of mapping of health disorders? Has it changed the way you view life, you view health, and you view, basically your approach to lifestyle in general?
Yeah, so you start to see how fragile life is, and uh, you start thinking more about your family and how everything goes basically when it comes to health.
Yeah. And speaking about seeing how things go, is there a misconception or something misunderstood about this field that a lot of people think?
So when it comes to genetics, there's a lot of misconceptions. Uh, Tell me one of misconceptions that you might
Yeah.
think it's a
Well,
misconception.
well, personally, and I think a lot of people, we're going to put ourselves on the spot. A lot of us thought we could do something to our genetics, right? We could fix them, we could improve them, but that's not something feasible, right?
Um, that it gives you all the answers basically to
Yeah.
everything. It doesn't give you all the answers for everything.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, uh, we we face a lot of vices. These variants are still unknown, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
genetics is still unknown.
It's unknown. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask you one final question, is because we're running out of time. If you had one message to give to, I would say, aspiring people who want to go into this field but they don't know a lot about it, what do you have to say to them?
Do some research on genetics, and you're gonna find that genetics is really fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a really an ocean with knowledge, and it's on the edge. It's a very rare major, and it's very unique.
Yeah. And I think that's a good message to wrap the conversation about. So I do want to thank you, Yousef, again for sitting with us,
Thank you.
talk to us about a very niche kind of field, right? So this is my thank you again one more time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And with that, dear ladies and gentlemen, that's all of the conversation we've had with Yousef AlHammadi. But stay tuned for the break. We'll come right after. Unfortunately, that was all of the time we've had with Yousef AlHammadi. Another great episode. It was on the science side of things, but as with all the Untold, we have a variety of episodes. This episode was a very highlighting episode in terms of what makes us humans, right? The blueprint of our existence, basically. And so hopefully you've had a great time. I've had a great time. With that in mind, see you next time.